The young man stuck his head out of the car window and spit on the road right at my feet. And then he drove away. It was obvious that his gesture was aimed at me. I was the only white face in the crowd of us boys playing football in the street on the east side of Youngstown, Ohio in the fall of 1968. The cousin of the young man in the car was playing ball with us, and he turned to me and began to apologize profusely. Well, my life had been made up of many transitions and many uprootings. My daddy was a preacher and would start out and lived in 3 different states. And before I got out of 12th grade, I'd been in 10 different school buildings. And so I had this uprooted sort of feeling. And I believe that everyone has a right, certainly a need, to a place in this world, a home, an irrevocable place where they belong. And I was looking for my home and my place. I found it. I found it in a relationship with Jesus Christ. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 19, one of my favorite verses. Paul is talking to the church in Ephesus, and he's explaining about their oneness, our oneness. And he says, "Now therefore, you are no longer strangers and exiles, but fellow citizens with the saints and members of the household of God." I love that verse. I believe that here in the book of Ephesians, as we look at it, we can find that there are principles that help us to get over this crazy sense that we have in our day of being cut off, of being alienated, of being strangers from our neighbors. There's 3 main lessons that I'd like to draw out of this entire book. The first one is wrapped up in the word grace. Grace means gift, but not only gift, it means the power behind the gift, graciousness. The second word is union. Union with God, solidarity, oneness with Him and with each other. And the third word is stand. Standing. Having the ability to stand, the right to stand, the power to stand, having victory. And so I'd like to take us through some principles that can really give victory in our lives. Recently I came home from a trip to Central Africa, mission trip. Tremendous time. I was in the 2 countries of Rwanda and Uganda, preaching through this, my favorite book of Ephesians. And I was at the border, having come from Rwanda to Uganda. I was going back again. And my pastor friend that was sponsoring me, we were walking down this dirt road and walked up to this barracks. Reminded me of Gomer Pyle, USMC. But it was the customs office for Rwanda. So I handed the man my passport, and he took it and looked at it a minute, and then he began to laugh. He said, "This is a Rwandan name. Where did you get this name?" I replied, "What do you mean? My granddaddy emigrated from Italy, from Sicily, to the U.S. in the early 1900s. But after that I began to research a little bit, and I found that my Italian name is known and common in Rwanda. Now, whatever the explanation of this, it underlines the truth that I'm trying to bring out of our oneness worldwide, our oneness by blood. Forget the skin color. What's the blood color? We are one blood, all of us sons and daughters of Adam and Eve. And our oneness in the redemption that is in Jesus Christ, the God-man, come to earth to take our place. And I want to share that with you today.